Hello everyone, I hope you're doing very well. So we're looking at day 4 from the Kurt and Berny campaign. Now I wouldn't usually cover this. I mean, this isn't a particularly tactical or realistic campaign. It's a symbolic, cancer campaign, the kind of thing we do. So the guys will probably be, more interested in having fun than good tactics. But after the mission, it was a pretty good mission. They did have a big argument, and I figured therefore we best have a look at it and see if there's anything we can learn from. As ever. So, very roughly, we are starting here. There's bad guys here. It was a bunch of SAM sites, as well as a base that needed nuking. And there was bad guys that are bad hostile aircraft that are conveniently coming from this direction or in the same way. So, like I said, not very tactical, but more a fun mission. So, first of all, there was the seed guys. That was us guys here. We dispatched all of the SAMs without any problems. Obviously, you've got 1960s SA6s, late 60s, I think, SA8 OSAs, so against, 1980s HARM 88Cs, so it was never going to be much of a contest, so we dispatched that quickly. Next, we'll have a look at the nuking, which went very well. I mean, nuking is actually a pretty hard thing to do if you've ever tried it. So these two MiGs went through the canyons, popped up. So this isn't the standard issue realistic pop-up, if that's the right word, the one I did in my tutorial, but it worked. So 22,000 feet, so where did they start? And if it works, it's okay. So they started more or less ground level, 5,000 ASL. Released at 16,000 ASL. Topped off at 23,000 ASL. And that is going to be enough to do the job. And they're amazingly accurate. I guess technically not as accurate as the proper technique. So the proper technique, if you remember, that I did in the MiG tutorial, was to come down here, low level, super low, pass over the target, flip up at 4 or 5 Gs, I've forgotten what it is now. You release at 110 degrees above the target, the bombs go straight up and then come straight back down on the target. So that's the most accurate way of doing it. But for a long range, really high altitude launch, that was pretty accurate. They got, I don't know what that is. I can't get it working for some reason, but it's probably a few hundred feet. So quite impressed with the boys there. And then they go off and land or crash or whatever they do. I can't remember. I don't really care. So that's that. Then we've got the air fight, which is what the ruckus was about. So let's see what that was all about. Just looking. Okay, there we go. That's where it starts. Stop. Get him. Get him. Go. Check we're recording. And we are. So. So they were complaining that they didn't do very well, basically. Not entirely sure I'd agree with that. I think they did okay. And they had a pretty good constitution. They had 4 times Tomcats, great for long range, or very close, but I still think 5 to 20 miles, they're pretty shit. And then a couple of F-18s, which are perfect in that kind of 0 to 20 mile range, so good constitution there. And the boys were arguing that they didn't do very well because they misused their missiles, and very possibly did. Again, we've got to bear in mind this isn't a tactical campaign. They're not taking it particularly seriously, but, that doesn't mean we can't learn from it. So, I can't remember what happened, so I'm just going to play it through. So, Whistler and Chaos are sending their missiles out. Okay, so let's stop there and look at that. Whistler with the Mark 47 Charlies, Joker, whoever this is, Chaos, and Joker with the Mark 60 Alphas. And so, which one's better? Whistler's better or Joker's better? Well, first of all, Joker, his altitude is a lot better. I'm not saying you shouldn't fire them from 30,000 feet. That's perfectly good like Whistler did. But Joker's altitude is probably going to work much better for these missiles. So if you get the chance, Angels 40 is going to be optimal, pretty optimal, as I showed. I did an hour-long video testing these things. I'm sure no one watches it. No one ever watches anything I do, but it was actually really useful stuff to watch. Showed the difference between these missiles. And the conclusion was that the benefits that the Mark 60A had was pure kinetic energy, really, really fast. And it meant that these guys, the Alphas, the 60 Alphas, got to the impact point with the target about 400 knots faster than these Mark 47 Charlies, and that is a massive benefit. These Mark 60 Alphas are a massive benefit. It makes it exponentially more difficult for these guys here to dodge the missiles if they've got an extra 300 or 400 knots of pace. So that is basically the end of it in terms of kinetic performance. These are also several hundred knots, just generally faster. You can see this one's already at 2,600, and this Whistler's one's only at 2,000. Means they get to the target quicker. They just everything quicker, and the quicker the missile is, the harder it is to dodge. Obviously, Whistlers have got the worst kinetic out of the three variants. The worst kinetic performance out of the three variants. The only benefit it has is smokeless. So if these guys were human, which they're not, they're AI, it's an AI campaign, then they wouldn't be able to see the missiles being launched. As it turns out, I don't think smokeless is actually worth anything. I think these guys, even if they're humans, can just, you might as well assume that these Phoenix is going to be fired if you're going head on with a bunch of Tomcats. So I don't think there's much point in trying to hide your launch. And regards guidance, there seems to be a lot of misinformation regards the guidance. These are digital seeker heads. The Charlies, the Alphas are analog seeker heads. This gives these guys better resolution to an extent, but better filter capability. They can filter out targets a lot better than these can. Now, what does that actually mean? Does it mean that these Charlies can track these aeroplanes better than these can? No, not really. These can track these targets just as well as these can. There's no actual difference there. What it means, from my limited research and talking to you guys, is that it means that these guys can track smaller targets. The Charlies can track missiles. They were invented, the Charlies, with this better avionics, so they can shoot down KH-22s and RB-15s and, you know what I mean, anti-ship missiles, anti-fleet missiles. So these really should be reserved, in my view, for anti-ship missiles, which is basically their job. Feel free to disagree. I'm always happy to be corrected. But at the end of it, if you want to shoot down aeroplanes, human or AI, I would always suggest taking the Mark 60 Alphas. They always do better in every single time we've tried it. Okay, so that's that. That's just that little bit, my view on it, and I'm pretty sure that's right after testing. Okay, the next thing is we've got all these missiles out. From a tactical point of view, it's completely useless. Once you've got one guy, ideally the lead guy, but it doesn't really matter. Once you've got one guy who's put a TWS missile on all four guys, which you can do against AI, because AI are dumb. They'll just come in a big flock like this. So you can TWS them all at the same time. Once you've got 4 missiles in the air, that's all you need. Everything else that's fired, especially if they're not a Mark 60A, is going to be completely wasted. So everything Whistler's firing is wasted. Harrisons are all wasted. Tankies are all wasted. Because these Cs are all going to get there first, because they're going 600 knots faster, way before any of these guys. And by that point, these guys will be dodging those Alphas and would have gone cold. And at that point, all of these missiles are wasted. They'll never catch these hostiles up. So, lesson to learn from here. If one of the guys is going to fire initially and going to fire on all 4 hostiles, or all of the hostiles, however many there are, everyone else is a wasted Phoenix. So they should save theirs, either turn around, go cold, or carry on going in, but save theirs until these guys have dodged these missiles and are recommitting, or whatever the next step is. But so the downfall of these guys is they just all of them wasted all of their missiles on the first guys here, and I don't want to make excuses for them, but yeah, like I said, this was more about fun than tactics. So, but that's it. And you can see, although Joker was fired after and behind by about 10 miles, Jokers have got there first. So Joker and Chaoses have got there first. So Whistlers, which are back here, the C models, are completely superfluous. They're going too slow by this point compared to the Alphas, and they would have been dodged. I say that. Watch Whistlers go and kill them all now, but I highly doubt it. So the kills were pretty much as we expected. That was almost a kill. That was Joker's Chaoses. This one might be a kill here. Smack, that's a kill. That's Jokers and Chaoses. This one may be a kill. As we've talked about, AI are useless at dodging Phoenixes. I just don't think they're programmed properly to deal with Phoenixes yet, which is fair enough, That's how it is. Another kill from Jokers and whatever, and Whistler might get one. This is Whistler's. It might just catch this guy up. No, it's missed. So all of Whistler's ones it had no effect. They were all too slow, into the battle zone too slow. And I'm not saying don't use them, I'm just saying don't fire them if someone's just launched a bunch of Mark 60As. That's what I'm trying to get at here, okay? And if one guy's fired on everyone, all of the bad guys, no one else fire. Complete waste, which is what killed them. You'll see as we go and kill the next bunch of bandits. They've got no missiles left. They're trying to kill modern fighters with whatever I'm trying to say. A couple of sparrows. Tanky managed to get one with a C model. Look, there you go. They must be all right. But that wasn't because it was a good shot. That's because this guy's a dick and flying away at 400 knots high, 32,000 feet. So that was just a gift. So big lesson there. Everyone learn it. Everyone's happy. We don't have to go through this again. Next. 2 guys come in. We've probably got some Phoenixes left. 3 or 4 maybe. The front guys won't have. There's a missile out from Harrison. It's going to probably it's a 60. There's probably a Mark 60A, so it's going to be a good kill. Very hard, like I said, to dodge these Mark 60As. Kinetic power of them is just unbeatable. Watch this guy try and dodge. Dumped his tanks. Dumped everything. Thump. Nothing he can do. Chaos is going one-on-one with an aim 7. Risky, I wouldn't do it. If I only had aim 7s left, I would turn around and let my boys go in with Phoenixes, but these guys are young and full of beans. So, and they get a shot off before this guy can shoot. And the reason for that is, I can't seem to see that. I don't really know why this guy just didn't shoot. So, again, handed a bit of gift there. And that's definitely going to be a kill at 11 miles, I imagine. Yeah, no chance of dodging that. So that's all good. Well done, boys. But now they've got trouble coming because they've just got nothing left in the bank. What have they got? A bunch of... I'm not sure why these guys were being... yeah, no, I am sure why these guys aren't being any use. And that's because simply the Tomcats have been shooting everything. Much faster planes. So they've been burning ahead and shooting everything for them. So these guys just haven't had their time yet. So, we've got a case now where Chaos and Joker are going head-to-head with these guys. 4 brand new, fully configured, fully assertive, organised, equipped flankers. And what have they got? 1 aim 7 Sparrows. Obviously, they will die and they won't get any kills. It's just simple logic. You can be as good as you like, or think you are as good as you like. You could be one of the 4th top guys and you still wouldn't be able to kill one of these guys. Because, look, you've got all this pummeling down on you. There's nothing you can do. So it's pure silliness. But they know that. So we'll let them off. And obviously, there's nothing, there's nothing you can do. Right, proper fighting is going to start. So these boys here, they're a little bit naughty. Being in formation at this point, they know they shouldn't be. But again, all the reasons we've talked about before, we'll let them off. Firing 18 miles, sure, whatever their tactic is. Let's run through it. We've got Harrison here. I mean, what's he going to do? He's probably got a couple of Sparrows left, which against 27 ERs and ETs and all the stuff, whatever these guys have got, doesn't really compare tactically. Another 120. So it's going to send a couple of these cold. It won't kill them, obviously, at 12 miles or 18 miles, but it's going to upset them at least. But I think the problem is they just don't have enough firepower now. I don't think they do anything wrong from here, but no one's got any Phoenixes left to put in there. And that's what the F-14 is. The F-14 is just a vessel to carry Phoenixes. It, can't really do anything else. In the spectrum of fighting things like this, modern air superiority fighters. That will trigger the internet, but suck it up. That's history. Okay. Skip that. So Harrison has jinked a missile there. I don't like seeing jinking. I never liked it. For 5 minutes, can't you, Wally? So Harrison's been fired at, and as we all know, in a team tactic, 100 times I've said it, turn around, call in the reinforcements. Turn around, call in the reinforcements. No, Harrison definitely wants that kill. It always works out badly for this guy doing this kind of stuff, unless you are a real maverick, of which there are very few. You know, well, he's so bad on initiative at this point because this guy's got all the initiative. He's got the speed. He's got, he's got this guy aimed up, locked up. He's got the firing position. What's this guy going to do? At best, a last-minute snapshot. There's nothing you can do. Going in, dodging, twiddling about, doing silly buggers. It always leads you to die. So that is purely Harrison's fault. Or whoever's driving, I don't know who the driver was. I think Harrison was the Rio. But you know what I'm getting at. Whoever's driving that vehicle is just very bad driving. And of course he gets killed. That will only ever work out one way. Tankies all over the place. I don't know what he's doing up there when the fight's down there, but actually it's not that bad. This guy's up here. I suspect he's going for this guy. But at least I think he's going to have the sense to turn around. These boys have turned around. The Hornets. A bit of a complaint about the Hornets. They came in formation. The problem that is they haven't been watching their air attack. They need to come in with a separation of 10 miles or something. So one guy fires, then the other guy can come forwards as the other guy retreats, and they can start a chainsaw. They've killed themselves basically by coming in together. Although it looks very sexy, and I appreciate them for doing it. Obviously they're dead men now because they're just going to get chased by these guys here. And Atomic, that's bad flying as well. No matter how... problem is no one watches these, so I can say whatever I want. No one's going to give a shit because no one's ever going to watch. But as we know, everyone knows, you don't turn around and spin in circles. I say it every single tactical review, and I watch someone, as soon as a noob spins around in circles, he's dead every time. So Atomic spun around in circles and he's died. You either go hot or you go cold. You go hot or you go cold. You do not sit there spinning around in circles. And you're dead, and you flew badly, and you deserve to die. Seethor, a bit more alert. He's going cold. Still not far enough. 5 miles or so is, that's, well, whatever that is. What is that out of interest? So it was about 7 miles or something. Just on the limit. I say 5 to 10 miles. 10 to 20 miles for skirting, but it's just about okay. And the reason is, turning in and acquiring a target in under 30 miles is almost impossible, especially when he's going to be high up like that. Seethor's not going to stand a chance against this guy. He's probably going to be lucky that this guy doesn't see him, or he's not. This guy's got all the initiative and gets shot at. And the reason... So Atomic was stupid. He ran around in circles like an idiot, and he deserves to get mullered for that. Seethor's mistake was he just got too impatient. He didn't go out far enough. So he couldn't come back with any initiative. By the time he'd come back, he'd set his radar up, he'd searched for the target, he already had missiles coming out from him. If he had gone back 15 miles back here, while the rest of these were tangling, he can come in and he's got time to do things at that point. Simple as that. Another lesson learned. I don't know what Tanky's doing, he's just kind of messing around up here, but it is what it is. I imagine he just couldn't get any targets, and so he's heading cold. Now, obviously, if you're going to fly through a battle zone, which you should never do, there should be no reason to fly through a battle zone. Don't do it at 300 knots. I mean, he's amazingly lucky he hasn't been shot down. I'm sure Tanky knows that, and I'm sure he was just messing around or texting his girlfriend or whatever. Right, next, Whistler. Good flying from Whistler. He's put himself, however he's done it, he's put himself out of phase. He's done whatever he's doing. Actually, I think he may have just got a warning from that missile and thought he got fired at. But by luck or by skill, he's put himself out of phase. So while these guys are tangling, he can come in. And he's got the initiative. He's got the ability here to... did we just lose a guy? Yeah, it's Atomic. He's got the ability here to get his radar locked. He's got no Phoenixes left, but at least he can do something. So that's Seethor out. No, it's not, sorry. And there's nothing this guy can do. You can have all the skill you want. By the time you've got Angel's 20 guy bearing down you, or you firing missiles at you, there's nothing you can do realistically. The only thing you can do is just run away and hope for the best, and even that usually doesn't end very well. So the reason I'm saying that is because he had a chance to run away here. He had a chance to do what he's supposed to do, which is turn around, go that way. Wait for Whistler to come and save him, wait for some help. Not, again, fancy weird drinking, trying to get the kill, and turning back into the guy. It's always going to end one way. Or whatever he's doing, just weird stuff. Hello. And he's out. Whistler's done it properly. He's come in phased for whatever reason. He's got good initiative and he can start firing missiles. Obviously, it's him against 3 guys. It's irrelevant now, really. He's not going to win anything. Tanky's just, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just got bored. I know he's getting shot at. But again, typical thing that he's going to spin around and no, yeah, it's not really. Tanky just doesn't know what he's doing. Look at that. Okay, he's just drawn a square in the middle of the battlefield, so I'm not even going to comment on that. Whistler has a shot, engages. A little bit annoyed about that. He does a shot, he turns round. He only goes back 5 miles when he should be going back 10 to 20 miles. So he won't have an initiative and he will get shot at and he will lose the fight. And he's thought better of it. So he's made up for it here because he's turned back in, been stupid. Realises he hasn't got the initiative and now he's going to run away. A little bit late because this guy's about to shoot him. No, he's not. Very, very lucky this guy didn't shoot him. And they're running away now. And that's a perfectly good tactic. So lots and lots of awful flying. And then I come in and shoot Whistler down, I think. So I had a lovely little run. I'm the only guy really doing it properly here. I'm essentially 1 against 1 here. And we're all essentially 1 against 1. And the way this works, assuming this guy's over 20 miles. No, scratch it. No, I'm wrong. That guy's well within borrowing range. So no, in that case, it's all fine, as everyone's doing it. I've gone out for a crank. I want to try and do it properly at least, but it doesn't work very well for me. So these guys are coming in. So as it turns out, Jaeger was doing a very good job trying to save Whistler there. Shoots him down. Just bad evasion by the looks of it. You just try to jink the missile rather than just dodging it, properly turning around, so it's his own fault. Shadow, just, there's a good thing. Lots and lots of bad flying. A little bit of good flying here. Shadow sees that there are guys merge, red and blue emerge, and so he knows not to put an AMRAM in there, unlike me, and he fires a Fox 1, so that's the first kind of ray of light here. Jaeger, good response from this guy firing at him. Good to save Fox 1 from this guy. Cheyenne, I think he's just shooting that guy's dead body. Or maybe not, maybe shooting this guy, I'm not sure. Either way, good work, again, from Cheyenne. I really like the look of Cheyenne. We're hiring at the moment, and I'm starting to kind of talent spot at the moment. Although he's a bit old, and old people tend to be shit, but he seems to be making really good decisions. You know, he's not putting Fox 3s into complex AOs, he's putting Fox 1s, and that takes a lot of initiative and bravery and discipline to do that. It dies for whatever reason. So missile out. Lucky for Shadow it wasn't against him. That should have been Shadow dead there, but we'll take that. Take a stroke of luck. Cheyenne defensive. Good work again. That's how you dodge a missile. Turn away, go cold, and don't come back until you're ready, properly ready to come back. Shadow gets his situational awareness. He's going to get on this guy. I think he had IFF problems, same as me, and hence he didn't shoot this guy, and then therefore Jaeger got shot down. But I think he makes up for it with an awesome kill in a minute. Brilliant. Just what the Hornet head mounted display and all that, and the aim X's aim is designed for. That lovely off-bore sight shot. Thump. Perfect. A lot of other missiles would have missed that. Oh, he's still alive, look. Excellent situational awareness. Gets back on him. This guy just goes blind and doesn't know what to do. At 300 knots, so obviously it's just going to get gunned down or something now. Let's hurry up with that. Oh, I missed that in the video. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Meanwhile, a new baddie is coming in. Saiyan, another perfect example of good flying. This guy gets shot at, turn cold, go cold. And he's doing me 20-mile runs here. He's not spinning around in circles. He's not doing a 6 or 7 mile. He's doing 20 miles. And that's how this chainsaw is going to work. That's how you work together. Shadow turns back in. Sorry, I'm just a bit all over the place at the moment. So he's saying a little bit disappointed there. He only went back 5 miles there, which is a little bit. No, noobish there. And he's going to pay the price, I think. He's going to get forced back. No, he's not. He's coming. Anyway. So this is Shadow. Going toe to toe. They're only a few miles apart, so we're in visual combat looking for each other. That fight will always be won by AI because AI just know where people are, obviously. So there's going to be whatever that is. 27R in the face. Actually, a pretty shit missile to fire at someone at this range. You could probably jink that missile pretty easily. Good evasive. Perfect. However he scratched it, he did it nicely. Let's check the G he pulled there. 7G. Maximum for the Hornet without the cut-off. No, 9. 10G. Very good. Good performance. Oh dear. I didn't realise that Shadow died, did he? I didn't think he did. So let's check this out. 2 miles on a down to up aspect blue. This guy fires a R73. R73, so this guy should be dead. Don't know how I missed this. Very hard to dodge that 1.5 miles when you're low energy, which he is. Nice! Look at that. Shadow could be a massive pain in the arse sometimes, but when he comes out with gold like this, I don't know any of our other guys that could do this. Look at this, slow-mo. R73 in the face. I mean, it is dodgeable in the face because you can flare and you can barrel roll and whatnot. But, you know, to have the ability to spot it in time and get this guy in target and fire the missile, you know, I'll never be able to do that. Put it that way. It's got that beautiful off-bore sight shot. Let's see when he took the shot. Look at the off-bore sight angle of taking a shot. He's firing just about there. And the guy is, what, 50 degrees, 45 degrees up off bore sight. So he's using his helmet mount display and everything. Using the AIM-9X's manoeuvrability here, which is just as manoeuvrable as this guy here. But this guy manages to dodge. Because he's got better situational awareness and a much better pilot than this AI guy. Even though he's not AI, he's human. This guy, look, a couple of flares, it's not going to help. Thump, dead. Excellent flying from Shadow. Very good. I think that's it. This guy doesn't really fight back. He just gets, I think he gets out of fuel or something. We just chase him and shoot him down. So that's it. So a lot of ugly fight. Though all this. Oh no, I haven't done my team kill. Yeah, no one can work out what this is. If you go and look back at the video, I two-factor authenticate this guy. Definitely a hostile. I crank. I crank out. Good 60 degrees. Nice turn in. It may have been at this point when I'm turning in, when this guy got shot down, who I was targeting, the radar may have switched to this guy. You guys go and wind the video back and try and find out what went wrong. Let me know. It would be very nice to know so we can avoid this again. But something went wrong. And then, of course, I just thought this was the bad guy at this point. And with the lock, continuous lock, I couldn't even launch the missiles at him. I couldn't remember which button to press. It's old age, I'm afraid. And I do manage to hit him, but obviously it's Whistler. Oopsie. So you guys can analyse that, try and find out what I've done wrong, so we stop that happening again. And that's that. So, in my opinion, and again, it's only my opinion at the end of the day, we've analysed the Phoenixes, and I hope we've got to the bottom of that now. We've analysed the kind of intermediate fighting around here. Just a lot of shit flying, to be honest. There's not much, really, anything that was good there. Everyone was doing pretty shit in the middle there. And they got whacked by 4 guys, and deservedly so. This, I come in, the only thing I do is shoot a friend down. It's pretty good stuff by saying. Jaeger was okay. Just ended up getting tagged. A bit unlucky at the end, to be honest. Shadow, excellent combat skills there. Really, really impressive. I think that's everyone. Right. I hope we enjoyed that and can learn some stuff from it. That is the last one, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. That guy just fires. We just chase him home. Wicked. Right. That's the last of the cancer campaign. We're going to be going on a coffee campaign next, so we're going to get our serious heads back on, which we will do. And I hope you will enjoy it with this. I'll see you later.